Yeah, from the last session, I introduced the Copilot Studio. That is the Microsoft's AI tool for business users. And in this session, we go through the AI Foundry, the Azure AI Foundry, which is the Microsoft's code technology tools for the developers and engineers to create the AI solutions. And the experience is based on um, my own experience with the clients since 2024, and also it's based on the build of the AI-centric business for Link Health, which is my own startup. Um, okay, these slides just give an overview of the two paths. And the first one we've already go through in the part one video. And now we focus on the Azure AI Foundry. So what is the quickest way to figure out. So this use case or requirement is fit for the AI Foundry. I will review from the three different perspectives. One is this for the external users or not? External users means complexity and need to scale. It could be thousands users or tens of thousands of millions of users in the e-commerce perspective. And for the Copilot, it's built by natively, it's not for that goal. Even though Copilot have certain use case for the small amount of the external users, for example, the business partners. If you have dozens of the business partners, or maybe a couple of hundred of the business partners, you can use the Power Pages with the Copilot Studio to do that. But the majority, I would say 90%, if you deal with the external users and, for example, create the new products for the external usage, it's going to be using the AI Foundry. The second scenario is you need to deal with the large language model, either tuning the model, select and deploy it by yourself, and also set up the guardrails and all those kind of things. You need to use the AI Foundry. And third thing is you need to deal with the domain specific data, typically data from the OT side, the manufacturer data or the operation data, the maintenance data from the different assets. If those kind of situation involve, it's almost no doubt you go through to the Azure AI Foundry, and engineers and the developers need to involve for these kind of the efforts, other than the business users. So in these slides, let's take a look of the AI tools from the Azure in the AI Foundry ecosystem. The tools is pretty straightforward because if you open the AI Foundry portal, you can see, oh, there is a sandbox, there is the playground, and there is the visual tools. But in my opinion, because the AI technology is progress so fast, and many of the tools probably even do not have much usage. But here, it's the four different tools we must use, assuming the enterprise is Microsoft slash Azure shop. You know, basically their infrastructure and their platform and the service mostly rely on the Microsoft Azure. Then we need to use this service to build the AI solutions. First one is the large language model. In my opinion, that is the primary value proposition for the AI Foundry. Because when you want to select, deploy, and manipulate, including fine-tuning the large language model, AI Foundry is must-have. And also, if your application want to use an Azure AI service like vision, speech, language, and decision, you will use that. That is part of the AI Foundry ecosystem as well. Those are considered to be the legacy AI service, which is very specific to the domain. But in the future, large language model getting more and more powerful, which is moving toward the agentic AI direction. And probably many of the use case specific to the vision speech language will be resolved by large language model itself. Um, so I highlight in red, uh, from my perspective, those kind of value is very important. Azure AI service is not because they have the potential to be replaced by the large language model. The third one is the RAG. To implement the RAG, we need the VectorDB, and also we need the ground searching and all those kind of capabilities. Microsoft is one of the key vendors for enterprise solutions on that. For example, Azure AI Search and the grounding search based on the Bing infrastructure and all these kind of things. For the Microsoft shop, definitely we will use that. And also the agent tools, prompt engineering, semantic kernel. Um, in my opinion, these are preparatory to Microsoft. But in the ecosystem, they have the much more popular tools. There is no reason must stick on these. For example, LangChain, LangGraph, and LangSmith. The whole suite of the agent tools is much more popular. Um, Enterprise, no doubt, can choose the ecosystem tools other than Microsoft. And meanwhile, it's still considered as our Microsoft AI Foundry solution. So initial goal is Microsoft to provide everything, but we need to leverage with the offering from the ecosystem. In the end, I believe large language model and the RAG could be most popular tools in the AI Foundry. Now, next two slides, I divided on purposely to the two different uh, efforts in the software development lifecycle. One effort is for the MVP side. You just very rapidly create our MVP and showcase the business value of the AI solutions. And the next slide is going to be do the CI/CD and iterate to move forward with the IT operation teams and the development teams together at the iteration by iteration for the production support. And in these slides, we focus on the AI solutions, three different perspectives. First, from a solution architecture perspective, this is totally agnostic. It's typical architecture front end and back end and data storage, and completely can use the vibe coding. I will choose the top tools really make difference. For example, I will choose either Cloud Code or Codex from OpenAI to facilitate the development. Of course, we can use the AI, like an Azure AI Foundry or Azure AI Service as the service and point available for the development. So this makes the MVP um, much faster and also with the high quality if you choose the good vibe coding tools. And the second one is um, about what kind of service to use. You always will use some service. You can use the Microsoft, Google, or um, AWS or the open ecosystem tools. But for the enterprise, hey, we are the mm, Microsoft Azure shop. You definitely can use the mm, AI Foundry and a service. And this service we already reviewed from the previous slide. Third one is cloud deployment. When you do the testing, you do the local deployment and then local testing, and then you certainly can deploy to the Azure. And that is also agnostic because that's just specific to Azure. You can using the app service to deployment or container apps to deploy using the Docker Compose. At this stage, I will not concern too much on the scale yet because I want to verify the MVP and showcase the best business value. And when we work with the business team or the product owner team. So in conclusion, for the MVP development, it is agnostic, even though we are using the Microsoft resource whenever needed. So in these slides, it's going to be getting more serious and complicated. You have the MVP, you want to transform the MVP to the production. Then you need to engage the DevOps engineers from the operation team. Assuming, um, like for example, I am the consultant to supporting the AI advocate team. It's the AI leader to leading the enterprise transformation. So my boundary is going to be the MVP deployment. And the next step is I have to work with the DevOps team and then to carry on forward with the iteration by iteration, make this a serious production. So three different perspectives. One is a scalable. It just goes through the Kubernetes, Azure Kubernetes service or Azure Container Service. If it's cooperative strategy to use Azure containers, it's kept horizontal and vertical scaling and load balancing and resilience. And also, it is time to engage the infrastructure as service, infrastructure as code, and the CI/CD automation. The experience last year I have is using the Terraform and Azure DevOps. Azure DevOps is an enterprise scale product of GitHub. Actually, GitHub also have the enterprise edition, but Azure DevOps is from the Microsoft and is directly targeted to the enterprise solutions. And in this stage, the goal is the automation, the change management and automation, and also carry on the software development lifecycle, move forward from the DevOps perspective. And the third thing is monitoring and governance. Uh, it is time is to fully engage with the cloud foundation team of the corporate to carry on uh, to optimize the resource of the cloud. So this is no difference from the cloud development for decades. For maybe 10 years ago, it's the same, even though right now we are dealing with the AI solutions. So final page is conclusion. For the AI Foundry adoption, as we can see, it is different from the Copilot Studio adoption of the agents. One is for the rapid development and business transformation. One is uh, target to the much in-depth engineer requirements or the problems using the Azure infrastructure and also the Azure AI service and solutions for the AI solutions. The first is the AI Foundry. That is a developer platform for large language model applications. And vibe coding is very important and for the rapid prototyping, for the agent MVPs, and the DevOps alignment. This part is the most complicated part, and I need to work with the DevOps engineers in the company and to carry on the DevOps and CI/CD pipeline and to facilitate the automation. And also, we address the use case for external users, for the domain-specific data, and the large language model-driven solutions. And all these three things are significantly different from the AI agents we being created using the Copilot Studios. And finally, Microsoft tried to combine the Copilot Studio and AI Foundry together. Personally, I have never experienced any use case really to bridge the business user and engineer to one context of the requirement of solution yet. But Microsoft already be able to using the ways to either input or exposure the APIs created by the AI Foundry and exposure to the Copilot Studio so that business user can use. Um, yeah, in my perspective, currently it's a pretty advanced stage. if we find this kind of the use case to collaborate with the business and developers for the same projects. But in the future, for the enterprise transformation, maybe have this kind of the use case coming up. So this concludes my perspective of enterprise AI solutions to transform the business through the Microsoft's AI stacks, specifically around the Copilot Studio and around the Azure AI Foundry. Thank you.